Please make sure in your notes you put 8.2 volume of cones. We're going to use the volume formula for cones and substitute similar to what we did with cylinders. All right, so in our notes, let's please copy down our first example. If you don't like drawing the picture, you can just write the important information. So we're finding the volume of a cone. And what is the height of this cone? 6 inches. What is the radius of this cone? 3 inches. Here's your formula. 1/3 times pi. And for pi today, we will be using 3.14. The radius is 3 squared times the height of 6. Please use your calculator to solve. So the volume is 56.5 inches cubed. Well done. 56.5 inches cubed. Next example. Again, you can draw this picture if you'd like, or you can just write down the important information. We are finding the volume of a cone. What is the height of the cone? 4 inches. And they give us 5 inches. What is that? That is the diameter because it goes all the way across. But we want the radius, which is 2.5 inches. Let's substitute it in. Volume equals 1/3 times 3.14 times 2.5 squared times 4. So the volume of this figure is 26.2 inches cubed. Next example is in your book. Please open to 598, A and B. All right, so for A here, you can see I set up the volume formula. Volume equals 1/3, 3.14 times 2 squared, because 2 is our radius, times 7 for our height. Hopefully you found the answer of 29.3 cubic feet. For B, it was volume equals 1/3 pi, which is 3.14. The diameter was 24. The red line goes all the way across, which means the radius is 12. So it was 12 squared times 26. And you should have gotten 3,918.7 cubic millimeters. All right, back to our notes, please. In our notebook, you can write down the important information, or we can just write down, or we can draw a picture. So a cone-shaped vase. All right, so here's my cone-shaped vase. Has a height of 15 centimeters and a diameter of 8 centimeters. What is the volume of the vase? I don't have the radius. Sean, can you help me? What's the radius if the diameter is 8? Good. So our radius is going to be 4 centimeters. So volume equals 1/3 3.14 times 4 squared times the height of 15. We'll put that into our calculator and round to the nearest 10. .2 centimeters cubed. All right, we have another problem in our book, 599C. I suggest drawing a picture. All right, so in this problem, what I highlighted here, 6 identical cones, is going to be very important because it talks about one cone. So the radius of one cone is 1.5 and the height is 9. So once you find the volume of one cone, what do you do to find the volume or the total volume of all the cones? Yes, so we're going to now take 63.585 and multiply by 6 to find our total volume, which is...
What?
Wait a minute, did I do this right?
No,
I got
it
380.
was 21.2 inches times 6.
Oh, because this isn't right. Oops, this is not right. The volume, I forgot to divide by 3. Thank you. Good thing we're recording this. Sorry at home. I forgot to divide by 3. 21.6225. Now we're going to take that number, multiply that by 6, and then you'll get that answer. Rounded to the nearest 10. Alright, our next example is a composite picture. What are the two shapes that you see in this picture, guys? A cylinder and a cone. The cylinder is placed on top of the cone. So to find the total volume, what are we going to do? We are going to add them up. So let's talk about each shape one at a time. Over here, I'm going to look at the cylinder. So for the volume of the cylinder, the equation is pi r squared times the height, which is 3.14. What's the radius of the cylinder? The radius of the cylinder. Good, because the diameter is 8, which means our radius, half of it, would be 4. So it's going to be 4 squared times the height of the cylinder. The height of the cylinder is right here, 4. The second picture that we have is the cone, so I'm going to figure out that volume over here. Volume of a cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. So I'm going to do 1/3 times 3.14. And the radius, they line up perfectly. So the radius of the cylinder is also the radius of the cone. What is the height of the cone? 5. This is a different height. Please solve. And then because the cylinder is on top of the cone, what are you going to do to find the total volume? Add them together. So as you can see, I found the volume of the cylinder to be 200.96. The volume of the cone is 83.73 repeating. When I add them together and round to the 10th, I get 284.7 feet cubed, because I need to add them together to find the total volume. All right. So the next picture, identify the shapes. What do you see? Again, we have a cylinder and a cone. Are we going to add these together or subtract? They're building them on each other. We're going to add them together. So again, we need to identify the different parts of each figure. Over here, I'm going to start with the cylinder. So the volume of the cylinder, pi r squared h. The radius of the cylinder is 4. 3.14 times 4 squared. And the height of the cylinder is 3. Next, I'm on the cone. The volume of the cone is 1/3 pi r squared h. 1/3 3.14. What's the radius of the cone?
4.
It's 4. It's the same as the cylinder. 4 squared. And what is the height of the cone? 10. Yep, very good. So that's the height. please multiply those, and then to find the total volume, you're going to take the cylinder plus the cone. So I found the volume of the cylinder and the cone. I'm going to add them together, and the total volume is 318.2 inches cubed. That is the total volume. The last problem in this section is the got it. So if you can please turn to that now on page 599D.
Basically, the volume of the cone, and there are two cones there, so you just have to substitute the numbers in with the letters, and you put the problem in the calculator, and you get 207.24 and 489.84, and then you add them together, and you get 697.1.
I know that is wrong.
Okay, so,
Sorry to stop, Hannah.
Oh, it's still going.